Good morning, everyone. Time now is 7:24. All right, and it's also time to talk about shellfish. Next weekend brings the annual Milford Oyster Festival. Joining us this morning, Jay Pinto, the Oyster Fest president, and Ed Rhodes, Shellfish Growers president. All right, good morning, guys.
Hey, good morning.
Welcome.
Good morning, Steve.
Thanks so
Good
much
morning.
for coming in.
All right.
All right, so big deal. 37th annual Milford Oyster Fest. That's this Saturday. So what can people expect?
Well, we expect a lot of big crowds, and it's a great day for everybody to come on down and have a great time between the food and the entertainment and the kids' rides and the arts and crafts, classic car show. We've got it all. Everybody, whatever anybody wants, it's there.
And it's both Saturday and Sunday?
Just Saturday.
Oh, so it's a one-day event.
We have a little event the night before down in Listman Landing by the harbor called Oyster Eve. Just a little pre-event party, but the main for a kickoff. But our main festival is Saturday the 20th.
All right. So for those of us who aren't oyster professionals or connoisseurs, you brought some oysters in. What do we need to know about oysters?
Well, I brought 6 oysters today, 2 from each of 3 different areas: Delaware Bay, Chincoteague, Virginia, and Long Island Sound. Traditional blue points from Long Island Sound. All the oysters on the East Coast are the same species. Interesting. And
do you get any other types of species, or this is it?
on the East Coast, only this, and we don't bring any from the West Coast for the Milford Oyster Festival.
Okay.
That would be a little bit
And
different
what
oyster.
species is this?
Well, it's called Chrysostrea virginica,
There you go.
scientifically.
Here's a mouthful, huh?
Yeah, but basically we bring, at Milford we'll have 14 different oysters from 14 different areas, and just like with grapes, where you grow them, basically dictates their flavor.
They have different
and so
tastes.
these will all have different flavor, different amounts of saltiness, which is probably the first flavor you taste.
So which ones are sweeter? Which ones are more brackish? It all depends on.
Yeah, it does, and we bring some of the best oyster shuckers in the world to Milford to help us open these oysters, and each of them will have their own favorites. So when you go through our line and try to pick out an oyster, each of the oyster shuckers is going to tell you the one I'm shucking is the best one, the sweetest.
This is the best for this reason. Now, when we eat oysters, we typically just put the cocktail sauce on it, lemons, and that's it. Are there other ways to eat oysters, or no?
There are. I mean, obviously, if you're from the Gulf Coast, Tabasco is probably a way you'll do it. And I think when you finally get to the point where you really appreciate the flavor of oysters, you'll eat them without any condiments on them.
Really?
Just
straight up oysters?
Just straight up oysters.
Okay. So what else can we expect? Anything different on the 37th annual as opposed to the 36th or 35th annual?
It's a great question. Actually, this will be the first year that we do a beer and wine garden in our classic car area.
All right. Now you've got me intrigued.
In addition to the car show, we'll be having several different types of specialty beers and wines. Beers by Harpoon, and the wines are by Barefoot. So if you want to enjoy the car show and a good doo-wop band, it'll be the first time we do a beer and wine garden in that area.
And it's free admission. It's in downtown Milford, and it's next Saturday.
Saturday, August 20th.
And now, are you going to have like a beer pairing with the oysters, or hey, this oyster goes best with this, or this one goes best with that?
I think that's a great idea for the 38th.
I think that will do for the
write that down.
38th annual. You see, I'm helping you guys out.
We can
All
do
right,
that.
so you
just in case Jay wants one for breakfast.
Okay.
I'm a hinge popper, so I pop the.
So
pop it
is that the right way to shuck? What is the best way to shuck an oyster?
Well, there are two ways to do it. You can come in through the side this way, and I think the best oyster shuckers and the fastest in the world do it that way.
Do it side style.
But most people do the hinge. Just pop the hinge. The only muscle holding the two shells together is there, so you just slide the knife across there and cut that muscle, basically.
And there's your oyster.
And there's my oyster.
Now, do you have to wash it out before you serve it?
If they're real muddy, we do wash it out. Yep.
So is that one muddy?
No.
No?
Not the meat itself.
So I can just eat it?
You can.
Yeah, go for it.
Sure.
You want it?
Right.
A little cocktail sauce?
Whatever, heck yes. A little cocktail sauce and some lemon, and we're good to go. Now, these are from where? These are the Virginia ones?
That's actually the one from Long Island Sound. From
Just go for it.
Just like home.
Good enough?
Fantastic.
See that?
Or oysters, not just for breakfast anymore.
Yeah, breakfast of champions. Thanks so much, guys.
Thank you for the time.
Hey, you're welcome.
Good luck.
Nice
All right.